Good afternoon, chaps and ladies. Out turfing again. This time, Lady Lothian walk down by Newbattle. Bright sunny day, quite warm, 20 degrees, but much more comfortable in the shade. And that's why we're here. Getting a few zones. Mr. Aching Back is still there, so no more cycling and kick scooting for a while. But no problem. Just taking zone the Redwoods, and before that the zone down at Stonegate, the old entrance to Newbattle Abbey, built for a king that never came. And we're in the zone. What's this one? This will be fat bike zone, I think. Come on, come on, come on. Fat bike path.
Zone taken.
I think I mentioned this before, but I'd blogged about this route and mentioned about the lack of zones on it. I could do with a few more. And within a day or so, up pops a new zone, fat bike path. Dead chuffed. It's almost like having your own zone. It's a little trick I've found that worked out. If you're filming using a GoPro and a selfie stick or the three-way mount I've got. Now I know that the GoPro does its own sort of image stabilisation, but you can kind of come up with your own little DIY Steadicam. If you extend the pole, leave a bit of weight to one end, the bottom, and then hold it up near the top while you're walking along. Like in that last clip, that's what I was doing. It sort of counterbalances itself and it holds it a little bit steadier. And even if you've got an ordinary selfie pole, add a few weights to the bottom, a few bunch of heavy washers or something, and you've got a kind of Steadicam. It's not perfect, but it does the job, makes a little bit of difference. I came across another turfing video this morning. Much Cycles has done one. Out on his Yido kick scooter. Man after my own heart, bicycles and kick scooters. And fat bikes, cool. So have a wee look on YouTube. Although I think I've got a link on the Planet Gary links page under turfing, so you can click on that. On his route he took a path I didn't know existed. So I'll add that to my knowledge of paths. Just coming up for Equinox zone. I was just about to say you need to watch as it's slippy. And you can fall on your arse, as I have just explained and given you a good example of. Oh, that'll teach me. It's not actually wet, it was just little twigs and stuff rolling on the top of the wooden spar. Don't worry, I'm okay, you don't need to call an ambulance. Although I think I have jigged my back a bit worse than it was. I wonder if that'll go and get that on YouTube and make a lot of money. Go viral. Turfer falls on butt while recording, just about talk about falling on butt and how not to. Just walking up Rowan's Dyke path now. Lots of gravel down at the bottom end of it, so you need to kind of watch. If you're bombing down on the bike, you can end up in the burn at the bottom if you go around the corner too fast. Let's take the zone, which I nearly forgot about. Thank goodness for alerts. I'm sure I probably mentioned that before actually, about the gravel.
Zone taken.
The south path. Yes, I probably did. You forget what you spoke about and what you haven't. Don't suppose it matters really. You can always skip forward if you like. It was a nice day yesterday on Cramond Island, or Craggy Island as we call it. I think I did say that I was going to head into Edinburgh today and go up and do Arthur's Seat and Holyrood Park zones, but I've decided to keep that for another day and do an early morning first light start. Maybe get up onto top of Arthur's Seat before sunrise on a nice clear morning. It's a little task for the future. We've a little ways to go to the next zone, so I'll maybe tell you how I create these videos. Well, most of the filming's done on the GoPro 10. And once I get back to the computer, download all the files, which can be quite big actually. Might get 10 or 15 gigabyte in total. Could be 20, 30, 40 different clips. You put those onto the hard drive. Then I open up a program called OpenShot, which is a free video editing package. Quite good. It's not got the bells and whistles of the high-end £1,000 stuff, but do you really need that? So in that software package, you create a new project and then import the video clips you recorded. I also import some template titles, you know, like Planet Gary film, blah blah blah. And then basically start off placing the clips on the timeline, roughly in the sequence that I record them. And then you'll trim the beginning and ends, take out the bits you don't want. Then you would adjust the sound levels if you need to. Sometimes it's a bit quiet, you can up the level. And then put your final titles on at the end and stuff. And a little fade out at the end. And then you export it as the finished video, which can take half an hour. And then run through it. Just watch it, keep closely, check for any mistakes, and if you do notice something, I'll go back into OpenShot, correct it, and then finally recompile it again, export it at the end. And then it gets uploaded to YouTube, fill in a few details. Doesn't take that long to upload. but the processing that YouTube does take a while. So it could be a good few hours before it's actually all available online. You do get a cut down version first, but I tend to wait until I get it all done so that the HD version is available online. And the final thing is just make it public and you guys can watch it. Symbols. Just coming down to Zone Mary at the head of the Mary Burn.
Taking zone.
There we go, taking zone. Zone taken. I think that's my 5 a day now. Actually, just thinking there, when I was on YouTube this morning, there's a live option. I'm wondering whether I can record and upload live to YouTube. Oh, that'd be interesting. Mind you, not much point if there's nobody actually there looking at it at the time, I suppose. And you've got the hassle, you've got to try and record everything all in one go perfectly. No editing or cutting. Food for thought. I've not met a soul today so far. Could be the zombie apocalypse for all I know. I always like to do a little bit of trail maintenance. If there's sticks or branches across the road, the trail, big stones, I'll always remove them. And if everybody does that, keep the trails open. I usually carry a Swiss Army knife. It's got a nice saw attachment, and sometimes a pruning saw, a folding pruning saw for some of the bigger stuff. Anything beyond that I'll just leave. So just crossing the Esk now. And this is Newbattle Abbey. We're just on the garden side, just heading round to the zone at the sundial. A few more people about here, dog walkers. It's funny how the hot weather brings out the shorts and the t-shirts. So I'm going to get the phone out and we're in the zone.
Zone taken.
Battle Abbey. Cool. Just wandering downstream now. Get the zone at the bridge. I think it's called South Esk. And then we're going to head up towards Kirkbank Wood. Get the 4 zones there. And then back home for a cuppa. There we go, ticking zone. We're on the bridge. And not only are we under the flight path for the aircraft heading to Turnhouse, we're actually under the flight path for some golfers from the tee up there. So you can hear and see golf balls whizzing overhead. Or landing in the river, if they're not so good. Oh, it's warm. I've not heard zone taken yet, but it has done. So let's head up through the wood now. There's a lot of bricks down on the path there from the Shotts Brickwork Company. Now that is Shotts out in West Lothian. Actually, there's a lot of the bricks here I can just about identify by the colour and texture. White Hill is quite a distinctive creamy colour. Hales bricks are a kind of rich red and they're often very crumbly. They're poor quality. They were well known for being poor quality. And then there's Dewar. You get a Dewar red and a Dewar blue. They're really dense looking bricks, high quality engineering bricks. Pentland as well, it's quite distinctive, the shape of the frog. I'm sure you think that's a bit sad, isn't it? I'm afraid I can't walk past a brick without turning it over to see what the brick mark is. It's almost like an addiction, like turfing can be. Oh, there's a brick. What is it? What's the brick mark? Have I got it in the catalogue? A lot of Nidri bricks about here actually. I'm sure you've heard the term about a half brick being known as a Nidri. Chuck a Nidri at 'em is the cry that rings out in Nidri, strangely enough. Or perhaps that's just folklore and isn't really true, who knows. Although I was getting my hair cut in Edinburgh one day at Tollcross Statement Barbers. He knew the term from his childhood about a Nidri being a half brick, so there's maybe some truth to the tales. He was from that area, Craig Miller. Anyway, just getting back into the shade again, it's nice and cool. And our next zone is Battle Forest. Now this one used to be in there. But it was difficult to get a GPS signal and I asked for it to be moved out onto the path where hopefully it would be easier and save people stumbling about in the undergrowth. So, with a bit of luck, any second.
Taking zone.
There we go. Because I used to come down here at night sometimes and getting the zone in there can be quite dangerous. There's a lot of fallen wood, a lot of spiky branches that can catch you in the eye. So,
Zone taken.
much safer this way. Onwards. We're in Kirkbank Wood now, just heading up for the zone. which is Battle something, I suspect. Newbattle. Just going to clear this log out the way. Get trail maintenance again. Just been thinking about tonight. I think that was an electric bike. Didn't hear him coming. Ring your fucking bell. Sorry. Ring your pesky bell. Bad word, shouldn't have said that on camera, should I? Yes, it's a nice night, so I was thinking about going down to Aberlady Bay Naturist Reserve. Ah, it's not actually, it's actually Aberlady Bay Nature Reserve. I just like to call it that. Ah, what's going on here? Getting into the zone. I have to go through these nettles. There we go. Ah. GPS is playing up. Probably because I swore. Zone taken from Mutt's Cycles. Right. Yes, Aberlady Bay Nature Reserve. I just call it the other one for fun. There is a sort of unofficial naturist area there towards the dunes at the Gullen end. But anyway, the subs have been taken, so I can go and take them again. So I might go down after dark. My thinking is how to make a video blog at night or in the darkening around dusk. I've got some LED lights I can take, although shining the lights back at yourself while filming, talking to camera like we are at the moment, it's actually quite difficult. You just can't see anything. So some thought required, I think. Let me take the camera anyway, take a light, just give it a go. So sunset's about 9:30, I think, or is it 10ish, round about there. So it'll be dark by 11. You check the tides though. I don't know what the tide state is at the moment. Now the wonders of smartphone technology. I'll just check the tides. 28 hours, 10:30 tonight, low tide, so that's good. Perfect. Weather forecast looks good, a bit windy. So, we shall see. Heading along to the next zone, which is recent battle. Owner Elsie Spanner, who I'm going to steal from. There we go, taking zone. Zone taken. On to the next one. We should be in the zone here. I think we need to take this little side path. Ooh. Not miss. Who is it? Come on. Oh, there we go. Taking zone. This will be the last one of this trip. A very pleasant day.
Zone taken.
There we go. And onwards. There was someone I was going to talk about there, and I said hello to these people passing. Totally forgotten what it is. Still can't remember what it was I'm going to talk about. Never mind. And that's pretty much us for the day. Just remains to walk back up the hill to the house. And perhaps my next video will be Aberlady Bay Naturist Reserve at night. That'll be fun. Just travel light. I won't take the bike or the scooter, I think just go on foot. So until next time, adios, catch you later.